You're listening to 90.8 Hills FM Radio.
This is 90.8 Hills FM radio station, using our voice to rate your choice. Stay tuned.
Hello, my dear listeners. Welcome to 90.8 Hills FM, Nagaland's first community radio station. This is your RJ Tamsa. Today in our studio, we have a very special guest. She is a long-time educator, teaching for a number of years with degrees from Delhi University and University of York, UK. She is also the co-founder of Reset 2020, which is a team that aims in mentoring adults and people of all ages as well, right? So she is a very special guest. She is also my former teacher, so I'm very excited to introduce her. Currently, she is the Vice Principal of Christian Higher Secondary School. Please welcome Ma'am Patricia Zhimomi. Ma'am, thank you for coming to the studio and thank you for agreeing for this interview as well.
I'm very glad to be here, and I thank you for extending that invitation to me. I am humbled.
All of us were actually very excited to have you here because we rarely have teachers coming to our studio. So thank you for coming once again. Now, ma'am, I believe you have been teaching for a number of years, right? Can you please first maybe tell us a little bit about like how long you've been teaching and how has your teaching experience been?
Ever since I knew life after my university, I had the first job that I went into was this teaching in Christian Higher Secondary School, and so it's been eternity since I've been here, and I have learned and grown a lot through this teaching years. When I first joined, you want me to say that, right?
Yes.
When I first joined the school, I was raw with just my degree to my name, and I had just I was very naive. I was very nervous when I joined school, but I was very earnest, in terms of preparing my lesson and going. In those days, there were no internet. The only help that we had was our textbook and the dictionary. So we made the most out of that. And over and beyond that, for many years, I hid behind the facade of having a very stern exterior because I wanted to hide my inexperience as a teacher behind that, and also because I always admired very strict or disciplinarian teachers. Somehow in my schooling and college days, the teachers that I looked up to were those kind of teachers. So I emulated them, and therefore there was maybe in the initial stage of my teaching a disconnect between the students and I, because I really was going in teaching my subject, coming out. And after a number of years had passed, I started developing a compassion for the students and also a need to connect with them and also understand them, that as human beings, not just as students. So some students that I have to teach something, my subject, and go away, but the need to connect with them as human beings started developing. And that must have been like after 6, 7 or even more years of having taught. And afterwards, when this kind of I started questioning myself and what more can I do for the students besides teaching English to them. And as I pondered over, I also started just internalizing and looking into myself. And I needed to be a mentor. I needed to be someone that who can bring out the best in them, not just, teach my subjects. So that was something that I myself found that I was evolving as a teacher even as the years went up. And so I started taking some initiatives in the school which was not in the academic calendar, like probably academic counseling, according to the caliber of the children. That we initiated. And also I also went a little further and when some of batch of the students were very demotivated or very dull, I don't want to enter that classroom even also, I started pondering, thinking, what can I do to galvanize and activate them? And so I went to the length or to the height of having a friend who is a very excellent person and doing very well, thriving well in her area of life, and that person is none other than Zubeno. So she being my friend, I called her over to my classroom, and I made her speak to my students on the topic excellence. So these were little things that I initiated, which I felt that that made me realize that unwittingly I was also growing as a teacher, and as teachers we need to all grow.
So fascinating. What a fascinating journey. It's like you've really embraced the idea of improving yourself as a person as well, not just in your teaching career.
That's
over the
right.
years.
It's
So
kind of
inspiring.
evolved, as I moved along. And I'm very grateful to every batch of students who have also in return taught me to become the person I have become today.
How sweet. Do you remember your first day of teaching?
Of course, I can never forget that day, because I was more nervous than the students, I suppose. I have graduated fresh from, the university, and that was my first job. And I just came into the classroom, and I remember, I just went, open your books, kind of a thing. And over the years, like I told you earlier, I put on this stern exterior in order to hide my, nervousness. And but yeah, I did teach with my heart, and so that the first day of school was like that, like very stiff, very barely communicating, I suppose, maybe communicating but not connecting with my students.
Do you remember the response of the students on your first day of teaching?
But they were very kind to me, I suppose, because they were very, very cooperative, and none of them were, misbehaving or challenging me in terms of misbehavior in the classroom. So, yeah, I still remember their faces, the classroom distinctly, and also like some of their names also I remember.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Interesting. I hope they're watching this interview and thinking that, oh, she was my teacher back then.
Yeah, I hope so.
Now since you have been in this field for quite a number of years, I'm sure you have interacted and mentored and have many incidents with so many students. Right? So do you have any memorable incidents with students that you remember or that have stayed with you?
Yeah, actually plenty, because it's been a number of years, like you said, but it's also been over a decade since I left teaching and got into the administration. So some parts have become kind of vague, but the first batch of students that I taught, and why I remember some of them by name, is also because these were the students who happened to be there helping me and attending my wedding.
Oh,
So
wow.
I
Lucky
joined
them.
1 year after I joined, I got married. So they were very active. In fact, in those times, no internet, no wedding planners, nothing. So we relied only on our family members, or someone who knows how to get things done. So I got to know that one of my students is very good, skilled with what do you call that, decorating and all that. Her name is Nini, and I absolutely gave her all the in charge of decorating my church, the church, the venue, and she literally meticulously made every single flower that I use, so with a fabric material. So it's quite challenging for her. For months she had to do that. And like now we don't have all this facility, and all the flowers were also very limited. So that's how ancient I am. and so and so that I really remember, like all of them coming. So that was a very connecting moment for us. Plus the farewells, when we're out of the classroom scenario, and I can really connect with them in a personal level. That's the time when I can sometimes speak in Nagamese, laugh. I mean, maybe in this classroom I'm always that I have to have a quiet room. I have to have everyone's attention here, and you can speak when you are given the turn, but probably most of them were too scared to even ask questions. That's how I, cringe and remember myself as a very raw, new
teacher.
young teacher, yeah.
Are there any embarrassing or maybe funny teaching moments then?
To be very honest, I really don't remember any such incident.
Since you were my teacher, I believe you were teaching Alti English back then.
Okay.
And there is one incident that I very clearly remember, because now as an adult, when I look at that incident, I see it in a very different light. So it was on a Saturday, and we had the class was about how to make art and craft class.
Okay.
Right? And I am not talented at all in making all of these. Even now, I don't have any talent in that. So we were asked to make cards or anything. So the best I could do, we were given chart papers as well.
Okay.
So we took the chart papers. So since I had no idea how to make anything, I just folded the chart paper.
Okay.
So this is the chart paper. I just folded this, and then I don't know, from a textbook or somewhere, I cut out something, a picture, and I pasted a picture on top, and that was my card.
All right.
And that was the best I could do back then. And we had to submit
I
it
thought
to
I was
you.
the only one.
We had to submit it to you, and I swear I was so scared to submit, because I knew that it was so horrible. My whatever that I did was so bad, right? I was embarrassed, I was scared, and I wanted to laugh as well. So I just went and gave it to you, right? And I saw your face. Initially, I knew that even you wanted to laugh looking at it. But I saw a little sliver of smile.
Okay.
But suddenly again it changed, and then you composed yourself, right? And then you just told me, "Oh, good job. You did well. You tried. Huh? Good job." So that's what you told me. And whatever fear or embarrassment that I had at that moment just disappeared completely. Right? My heart was so heavy when I came to submit the card. After you told me that, it just died down. My heart became so calm. Now, as an adult, when I think of that incident, I feel like it shows the kind of person that you were. Like, you could have just dismissed it, saying, "This is so bad. Can't you do something better?" And even I won't be surprised if a teacher had told me that, because it was that bad, just folding a chart paper and giving it as a card, right? But you were not dismissive of my efforts. So now I see the incident very differently. I feel like it shows your character, your personality, how accepting you were of the students, of anyone's limitations as well. So that incident kind of stayed with me, and I still remember it very clearly. So I thought I'd just share it with you to let you know that you're a wonderful teacher to us.
Thank you so much. I'm encouraged to hear that. That is totally slipped out of my mind, but it is a very good, encouragement for me to carry on.
That is the kind of impact that teachers can have on students.
Correct. Yeah, one simple word, but the right word at the right time can
Yes.
really, bring the children alive.
Yes,
should say.
yes. I mean, the fear that I had when I had to submit, it just died down when you said that.
Oh,
So-
thank goodness I have created a good memory there.
Yes. Now, I'm sure, just like I've had a positive experience with you, there are a number of students who've had a positive experience with you being a teacher. But for you, from your point of view, what is the best thing about being a teacher?
Yeah. There's just so many things, but for me, like, I would just stress or focus on how being with the youngsters help us have let's just put it like a youngish outlook at life, We have to be role models. So constantly, we are even to the extent of how we groom ourselves. It has an impact because we are with the youth. We have to inspire them in every sense. So other than that, the best is we are always having to learn and to grow. Otherwise, we'll be redundant and we'll be, not at par. So the need to learn and grow constantly, being a teacher is I think the best part. Where mentally also you are always updating yourself, and in every sense, yeah.
Sometimes do you find it challenging, especially in today's age when every other day there is a new trend, new change happening among the young people? Do you find it challenging to just keep up with them? Have you ever faced that as a teacher?
It is kind of challenging, but at the same time, there are some values and principles that will never change with time. So if we hold on to that, and if we are able to lay down those straight to them, they will not cross the barriers whatever trend is coming. And there will be few stray cases in every institution or every class. So those we can handle, or those we can cope up.
True. So for you, when you're at work at school, what makes a good day for you?
Okay, a good day would be when I am able to check all my to-do list done, finished. I could get it done, and tomorrow I'll start on a clean slate. But on a more deeper level, a good day is also when I am able to connect with any of my employees, whether it is, let's say, colleagues, whether it's the teachers, the staff, office working staff, or the students, when they are able to come to me, maybe share some of their thoughts, their problems, or it may be personal, it may be professional. Sometimes they do face life, and so when they are able to share that, and we are able to come to an understanding, and I'm able to counsel them, and also be able to, sometimes pray with them, and send them off with a word of comfort. For me, that is a very good day. And even for students, sometimes, most of the time, probably they are being brought to the office for discipline issues. But there are also times when they come personally, voluntarily for help. Like, I'm really not motivated to study. So please, ma'am, I'm coming to you to help me get motivated. That's a really good day when I can, share some of my thoughts with them and, pick that up. Yeah.
I do wonder, since you deal with a number of students with different personalities, different issues as well, where do you even find the mental strength to be able to deal with all of that separately, and then having to deal with your, of course, personal life as well?
Yeah, it's just, I think it's a matter of priority also, and God's grace, definitely. And making time, like I said, when we say the priority, it's about setting aside certain, time to do those kind of work that actually really have a lasting impact. Our mundane chores will be there, both at home and in the school. The daily routine of having to do this, that rigid one. But if we don't have the other aspect of the human side, I think the fulfillment is not there, and I wouldn't last this long also in the in this institution if I did not have that kind of interactions where I'm able to maybe make some impact in the lives of some people around me.
Talking about the institution where you are currently the vice principal, I believe.
Yes.
Now, Christian Higher Secondary, for years it has been known for many things. One of the things that has been known for its school canteen. So for you, which is your favorite dish from the school canteen?
Oh, hands down, it'll be galo.
I knew.
Very predictable, right? So from the time that I entered school, I didn't have any friends that were really known to me. So as a new teacher, freshie, there was this lady who I was supposed to replace, but she was staying on to, hand things over to me. So she was very gracious and kind, and she introduced me to the gallo. And ever since that time, it has become a staple food for not only me, but for most of us and the students as well. The gallo with, now it's upgraded. During your time, maybe I don't know, okay, but gallo with beef chutney aside. I think in your time it was there.
There was a chutney. I don't remember whether it was beef or not.
Okay, just the chutney is always there, but then there is also the separate beef chutney, like they sell it separate, and for those who want, so beef, chicken, they
A
have.
huge upgrade.
Yeah. So a bit of that, and we are all having our, very canteen gallo, which is a little different from the normal Angami gallo, but yeah.
There is one thing I hear from everyone who studies or who has been working in that institution. Gallo.
And
I
some
think-
of them come back to
Oh yes.
just to have the gallo.
Even I did. So, about students,
Yeah.
I'm sure students are known for making a number of excuses, creative excuses for missing on their work or projects. So, is there any creative excuse that you have come across from students who have missed their assignments so far?
Probably because I was that kind of teacher who they felt maybe like I can't fool her. She's too strict. And so I never came across students. They were just up close, honest, or at the most the excuse they would give was, I forgot. I forgot to bring my book after I've done, or sometimes they will say, I forgot to brought, or something like that. Then the correction of
English.
grammar will start. Yeah.
I believe maybe it's also because as a teacher you were able to create an environment where students were not scared to be open to you. So
It could be any
Yeah.
which way, yeah. So I would like to think that.
now, in your teaching career for this number of years, you must have taught different generations.
Yeah.
So from your point of view, have you noticed any prominent differences between the students, let's say 10 years ago, and students now?
In terms of human habit and their naughtiness, for example, or the daily conduct of life, I feel that there's not much difference. They're still the same. The only difference I would say is the older generation, like the ones that I taught earlier in life, in my career, are the ones who would be a little more thick-skinned and can take correction and didn't mind being disciplined and all that. But the current generation are a little too sensitive, and they have a lot of mental health, social issues and all that. Yeah, could be genuine, but because of everything centering around the child, the children, in a way, if it is not handled properly by both the parents and the teachers, can take it as a sense of entitlement also, that I should not be talked to like this, or a little bit of values. In a way, for me, I just feel others may differ, but I feel that even the values is going down a bit, in the sense like respect for elders, respect for with the current generation. Maybe it's a bit too much of information, too much of exposure, or to the media, to the net, but they want their teachers to be their friends, not so much, so that is something that I notice.
I have to agree with you on that. When you mentioned especially that sense of entitlement, and then the lines between the teacher and the students getting blurry, becoming more friendly and less of mentor over the years.
You're right. And media is playing a major role in that, I feel. When when the teacher and the student are also friends on media. It's a little difficult, right? I mean, like pass out ones, I think we don't mind the former the alumni being connected with them, but with the current ones, that I feel that can also get in the way.
I totally agree. I guess there should be a little bit of boundary.
Yeah, exactly.
So in that context, obviously the role of educators have changed, right?
Right.
So in your opinion, how has it changed, or how can the present educators arm themselves to deal with the present generation?
Yeah, a lot has changed, but the biggest change will be the shift in the focus from building or developing a set of skills for the entire generation of students to that of how shall I put it, no student left out approach, and catering to the different learner types, their style of learning, multiple intelligences. Of course, these are very good research work, and we have to incorporate that. But in the earlier part, when I had joined work, I would say that it was more of rote learning. Okay, explanation was done, teacher centered, and then the teacher holds all the attention, or is the sole source, and the students hardly play any role, and they were always just made to listen, and then 3 sets of exam, and that's about it. They are graded, assessed, evaluated based on how they perform in this examination part. Now the shift with all this, like I told you, no child left out. If we know how to use it in the right way, it's good. And so supposing a student, there are sets of students who are musically inclined, some are linguistically very talented, mathematical brain, so we have, or some are very kinesthetic, they just want to be active, so some activity has to be incorporated into the lesson plan. So that is how, it has become individual, catering to individual learner needs, rather than that static one size fits all kind of approach towards education. That's a really big shift, and teachers have to arm themselves. They have to take, with the help of information, technology, we have access to everything. For us, like I told you earlier, it was just a dictionary. At the most, we were armed with the art textbook and dictionary if you don't understand certain aspect, and maybe help or guidebook here and there. So there was no internet. But the teachers now have got, they have a plethora of knowledge, information, that if you just click, you are getting it. So the AI is there, ChatGPT is there. So teachers have to make use of that in a very creative manner and take it to the classroom and keep up with the changing scenario and times. And if not, the students will outgrow them.
Do you feel that the educators who do not keep up, especially with technological changes, over time they will be taken away from the system or left behind? Do you feel like that?
Yeah, I do feel that they will be left behind, because there's this blended learning, even if it's not like fully or partial blended, as in we may not really go into that online classes like in the COVID times. But now everything is physical, but at the same time we're using the digital help in the classrooms to make it more explicit for the students to visually see, hear and learn, and also hands-on practice it. So with that, if a teacher is leaning on to the all mode of working, they're going to be phased out. But I would say that many of the teachers are coping with that.
So for aspirants who are interested in the field of teaching, given your experience, can you give any suggestions?
For those who are willing to take this up, it should be a call for me. To be a teacher, it's not just a job, but you have to have it inside you. As a student, I used to look up at few of my teachers who inspire me in the classroom, and also in the college level. I had few such people that I would just love to look at, so and love their teaching style and all that. So for those of you, those people who want to be a teacher full time, they need to want to be inspirational teacher and be a good leader, not just be a subject teacher, but when we say be a good leader, it also means being a mentor, a coach, and also arm yourself before you go in with the degree. If you're serious with teaching, I would suggest that they don't just do the degree course, but they also do the B.Ed, which is mandatory now, and take some trainings also if necessary, in-service training, or some short-term courses and trainings that'll really equip them to know how to go about it, not struggle like us in our time.
You have also been you also got your degree, I believe, from DU, right? And you
Yes.
also have a degree from the University of York, UK.
Right.
So from your student days, do you have any memorable incidents or memories
As
as a student?
Oh, as a student. Yeah, when I went up till the time that I was doing degree masters in DU, I think I was that happy-go-lucky kind of student who really didn't take her percentage seriously. So I always worked best under pressure. So not much, I cannot recount too much of that, but I remember like when I went to, after the master's degree and having taught for a period of time in the school, with my experience, I thought like when I went for the other MA degree in the York, I thought I'll know it all and I can handle it. So I went and I felt, I mean, this is a memory I have to share. I felt like Bosti Manu, like, I was really technologically challenged, and then we were not brought up with that system of learning where we question, at a young age.
True.
So when you don't develop that, you're not really, it's underdeveloped, not that aspect of you. So I found that all these things were brought to the forefront, and I really struggled. But then one thing I can attribute to myself is like I have a heart to learn. I really don't want to stop learning. So that is why after having 3 babies, I left them and went. It was only for 2 weeks because it's a long distance course. But I really appreciate my supervisors. They were more like our friends, and they were very helpful when we had family issues where we cannot complete our assignments. They were very, accommodating, and extensions and all were given to us. So that is the
Memorable experience.
memorable experience of, again, like our mates being very multi. We were around only 10 of us for that course, but we were from so many different countries. So just getting to know them and learning from them also, it was very, very memorable. Yeah.
Were you the only one from India?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they all said, you don't look anything like Indian. So I had to explain to them, like it's in the northeast of India.
Wherever you go, especially for us people from the Northeast, like we have to take a piece of our culture with us, so
Right.
to explain it to people that we are from that part
Yeah.
of the country.
Yeah. So a 10-minute PowerPoint was asked of us to prepare to introduce ourselves. So for me, I just did our forestry and all that. I wanted them to know exactly like how our place looks. And some pictures of Zileke and all that. No?
Wow. Very fascinating.
Yeah, they asked a lot of questions because that is something that they only see buildings now in their place, the Western countries. So
What a lovely experience it must have been for you.
yeah, it was very learning.
is there anything, you as a student, is there anything that a teacher had said that had stayed with you in all these years?
Yes, absolutely. I cannot, and I'll mention their names. I cannot forget Sir Paramala, who was my English teacher. He was a very soft-spoken man, and when he comes to the classroom after he had given us assignments and all, the homework book or the test copy, he would bring it to the classroom. I was a student in Holy Cross, and I remember like him appreciating a few of us, because I had my 14 language, so from school days. So he appreciated a few of us, and he highlighted my punctuation is very good, and everyone should follow that kind of a thing, and that there's a flow of thought and expression. And he read out some portions of my notes to the entire class. That stuck with me, and that is the time again I always had love for reading, love for writing, journaling and all that. But that again motivated me, despite the fact that I was already good in this subject and very bad with math and science. The word of encouragement really stuck with me for till now. So I keep telling my teachers nowadays, the words that you use is so important, and the choice of your word and how you address the students. And I give this example to them. Then there was this sister, because I was in the hostel or none. She would always tell me, your spoken and your written is strong, and your father has high expectations of you, so you have to, meet that. And after I had left after my class 10, I had joined Patkai, and during that time also she used to write me letters and tell me, you must pursue, literature for your in your masters, that kind of a thing. And that such a, after you're gone,
Yeah, that's so inspiring.
a
The
teacher writes
dedication.
to you and telling me my strengths, and also recounting some good times that we had in the convent. So, her name is Sister Severin. I hope if she's watching this, she gets to watch this,
Really.
that she understands that she has inspired me.
What a lovely teacher, bless her, to be able to connect with the students even after they have passed out.
Yeah.
So
I think-
fascinating. So, as a teacher and as an administrator,
Yeah,
will that be the
yes,
correct word?
yes.
Do you have any work philosophy that you follow on a daily basis?
Yes. I'll just quote my favorite Bible verse, which is from Colossians 3:23. It always sticks to me, and I always, given any opportunity, I tell that to the teachers also. Whatever you do, do it as unto the Lord and not unto men. So if we think like that, even if men are not with us, if the authorities are not watching you, or if there's no one coming behind you, you will do your job well and sincerely, and your work will speak for you. So for me, like, my best may not be the best of the other person around, but if you're doing your best, that is it. So giving my best at every level of my work as a teacher, and then as an academic coordinator, and then as vice principal, I have worked on that philosophy of just doing your work with sincerity, as if God is watching you, and not doing it to show men. And praise God, like, I think I have also had very good recognition in the institution where I work.
I believe in 2018, was it 2018, you were awarded the District Meritorious Award. Was
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
How was it? How was the experience?
Actually, it was long overdue, I should say, unabashedly. Because by then I was not actually teaching also.
Oh, okay.
Like, I was manning the teachers very closely, but then the year that the current principal came to post to occupy the principal's post, he used to tell me also, you nominate yourself also, you should also, he used to
Oh.
encourage. And all these years I'm the one who is nominating the teachers according to how they're putting in, and recognizing their work. And then I used to do all the write-up necessary for them and send them up. And quite a lot of them have also received both state and district award. But I never think that I should do that, because I felt that that's too much cringe. However, because I got encouragement from the principal, so after a few years of his stay, I asked him, okay, then I think I'll take up your suggestion and do it. So the year that I put up,
You won.
I won. So
Well deserved.
thank God.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
As a teacher then, as an educator, is there anything that you want your students and your parents to know?
Yeah, definitely. Teachers, students, and parents, or
Parents and students.
parents and students now. Yeah. I would say that the teachers are hard pressed in this current teaching scenario. They are doing a lot with the changing system. The reteach is taking place. In your time, that was unheard of. Reteach, retest, no. So you're running with the current routine, but at the same time you're regressing, going back, and again taking forward the less able students to perform and understand better. So that's a role and a part of a teacher, I suppose. But teachers are doing quite a bit in order to pull up the students and also to bless them. But even the students have a role to play. It is a triangular thing where the parents, the students, and the teachers have to together work. So my suggestion to the parents would be, there is work to do, definitely. There is a lot in their hands also, and they have to provide for the family. And so the time factor but may not be available for them with currently both sets of parents, working and all that, to meet the needs of their children. However, I would really advise the parents and also the students, for the students to set their goal and their vision, think of the future now, from now, and work on their daily habit, their daily discipline, in order to be successful, because the secret of your success is found in your daily habit. So
Amen.
that is that is the role of the students. And for parents, I would say, like, give your time more than the material things. And I understand we have work is there, obligations are there. You have to provide for your children, and keep the house running. However, the time that you give, the time in a day's time should be quality time. Even if you spend 1 hour or half an hour or more, it should be quality, where you are really actually conversing and connecting with your children, and also imparting life lessons and values, which only they can do for their children. So if that is my message, that all parents give quality time. It doesn't have to be long hours, but if it is just few hours every day, but it is quality, that will produce results more than, they have to work. So more than number of hours, quality time. That is my message.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. For you as well, being a working parent for quite a number of years now, how do you handle work and family? Like, initially when it started, was it difficult for you, and how did you just find your way across into where you are now?
I am blessed, let's say, to switch gears. I'm blessed with the ability to just switch gears. So I'm really, I use the word blessed, okay? It's an innate ability, because I joined work I'm fresh. I have no experience. Next year I get married. The next year I got baby. So it was a very rush thing in that time. So juggling would have been very difficult. Of course, I had to ask the principal to. Those days the maternity leave was only 45 days.
Oh.
That is like 1.5 months. I have to leave my child and go. So that tore my heart. I mean, I cannot. He needs me now. So I sent word that I cannot join back work for a period of time, at least a month, without salary. Also, I'm willing. But I remember one fine day, Teacher Menyo, she was a principal then, so she reached my house. And she told me, she sat with me, she got something for me, and she sat with me, and then she started telling me, like, think about it, not resuming work, because this is one child. She had a way of putting things. She always was, she's also another person that I really, admire. So she said that you have one child, but here we're looking at this many children. That's all you
I can
students.
imagine.
So then I got kind of trapped. And I said, I'll think about it. And the next thing I knew, I was getting ready and going to work again. So, I think that grace is also there. And I was blessed also with my cousins who were single, coming over and staying during my absence to nurture my babies. Every pregnancy and every childbirth was like that. So it was kind of smooth transition for me. And yeah, when I go to work, I forget about the family. When they call me and say this have to be done, on your way back, get this done, yeah, I'm there to attend. Otherwise, I don't think home. When I'm home, I don't think work. That's what I'm saying, this unique ability to just switch gears. So I never really allowed them to get in my way of it being a parent or being a teacher.
I must say, what a talent it is. You have different mind blocks, family, work, friends.
Yeah, friends
You
also.
really are very blessed indeed.
Yeah, I should say so. I would agree.
Now, besides your family and of course, like you have mentioned some of the names now, who would you credit as your biggest supporter in your life journey so far?
Besides my family?
Yes.
Okay, besides my family, yeah. Again, I will say I'm really blessed with the right type of friends. I have friends from my school days still, like, who will be there for me anytime. And I have made very new friends, and I wouldn't say very new, but maybe like after I got married. And some of them are even single, like my reset partner, licensed, not married, but I would that did not we just connect. So this, and then there in the workplace, when I had, if I come across any kind of problem or issues that was a little beyond me to handle, there was this chaplain and counselor who would just immediately fill in. Our member Kali. Oh, she's good at what she does, like to a T, and she would, my off periods would just be to run to her and spend quality time with her and get refilled so that I can carry on again. So if you don't call that support, I don't know what will. And they were, like license and all that, which we would prod one another in terms of work. And I was there for her when she was the principal of a school, and she just went in fresh also. Only experience she had was a teacher, but she told me, I accepted this offer with you in my mind. You're going to come and do trainings for me. And I did that. I went to her school. We did that joyfully together. She made an impact. She really made an impact in that school, even though it was a brief stint of 2 years. And a few years down the line, after the post-COVID, though, we all had to do something new that we have not done again. Because the children were all disconnected from books and study environment, classroom environment. They haven't forgetting their manners and all that, not like in 2 years' time. So what we were doing before is as a teacher or as a team is not going to work. So that is when again I roped in Lyson. Now like it was my turn. I roped her in, and together we really did, a lot of programs for the teachers, and so that kind of support now that I could just tell her and she'll understand. So I have a lot of friends like that.
To all the friends of Ma'am Patricia, thank you so much for being so supportive. But I personally, I do also believe that obviously you have the grace of God upon you. But besides that, I feel like you must be a good friend. That is why you have a good support of friends as well.
Thank you.
So I guess it shows, if it reflects upon who you are as well, the support that you have.
Thank you.
And we wish that you continue to have the support all throughout your life.
Right.
Ma'am, so we are very curious to know your life, a little bit of your life outside of work as well.
Oh. Nothing personal. Okay.
So besides your work, like when you're free, what do you like to do? What are your hobbies?
Actually, I am also. I love. Time does not permit. Otherwise, I have green fingers. So when I propagate, cut flowers and plant them, they just have a way of living. Plant seeds, they just thrive, and nurturing flowers and plants is a hobby that I have. And I'm also gifted, I should say, with some entrepreneurial skills, such as
what is it that you cannot do? So cool.
Oh, now that's a line I wouldn't want to hear. So and so like I do some now, and not now, but I used to do some networking, because I just love to connect with people. So I feel that is a platform where I can, meet people and all that, and learn from them, give from myself like that. So those are my hobbies.
A little birdie told me that you're also quite well known for the outfits that you wear.
A little bird.
So can you tell us about your fashion inspiration? Like, what do you think of when you wear those outfits? Or is there anyone whom you're inspired by?
There are actually many people that I've looked at and follow, but I cannot really what looks good on them. I like that kind of style, but if I were to wear them and cannot pull it off, I wouldn't want. So I may follow a lot of like Victoria Beckham, for example. Very minimalist and very structured, her style or sense of style, and the way she carries, as she and her models. So like that, I have quite a bit of inspirational figures in that line. But for me, I go more by my body type. I have to understand my body, what I'm comfortable with, what I'm not. So I wouldn't be comfortable with certain style of cut or material or design. So even if it is in its height of fashion, I won't wear. That is like uncompromising for me. And so the things that I can pull off, or let's say when I wear, I feel nice about myself as well as comfortable. So it's eclectic, my sense. I just pull this, pull that, mismatch, thrifting, or bring out all sets of clothes which I've kept aside. But I have I have a emotional attachment to them as well, like that. So many things though I do give away. So again, like I will redefine it, restructure it, and so that's the way I go about. I don't spend too much time thinking or too much money on my clothes, but it's about pulling. So my sister-in-law, Hekali, she had told me, you have a very eclectic sense. I mean, like coming from her, I found that a little surprising also, because she's that very officer kind of a thing, so you have a very eclectic sense of style, and you're something like Jessica Parker. She said that. Oh, that was a huge compliment for me.
I must say, now that she has mentioned Sarah Jessica Parker, you do kind of look like Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, that's a huge compliment.
what would the students be surprised to find out about you?
I think that the madam who looks very confident and gets up every time in the podium or on the stage, and either scold them or give them instructions or always taking up time and space with them, is actually nervous about interviews like this.
Seriously, I can't imagine you not being confident anywhere in any platform.
I thought that you're being so kind,
Seriously.
and I accept that gracefully. So like I was so, should I or should I not? But then I just felt that I think it's time also to speak our story and be an inspiration, or be able to relate, make people relate to us, how far we've come now that we are in that stage, to be able to if they can learn one or two things through this interview, that's, for me, that's an achievement also.
And what an inspiring journey, your teaching journey, I must say. How you have evolved yourself, upgraded yourself.
Yeah,
Kudos to you.
in every sense. I have evolved, and that's why I said I'm very grateful for every change in the education system that made me push myself. Okay, you have to get in line. You cannot be outdated or outmoded. And every student who challenged me in a different manner, even teachers and staff, grooming people or working with people is more difficult than working with papers and all that. So because it's a complex world of different personalities and characters, so that has all helped me grow and become more confident, or help me. It has helped me.
Any book recommendations for our listeners?
I would recommend that everyone read Atomic Habits. This is a book by
I forgot the name of the
I
author.
forgot. Oh, yeah, I'm recommending and I've forgotten the name. That's really bad. Because actually my daughter read that, and I borrowed her book, and I went through that with my mentees last year. I had, for the first time, I challenged myself to keep 3 mentees from class 10. So I gave them the book for them to read as a summer assignment. One of them actually quoted that. One of them actually quoted a practice from there, which she incorporated in her daily routine, which helped her because she was top 1 this year. So she had to give the interview, and I remember her quoting that book, and I really feel that it's it's timeless, that book. It's for everyone who wants to grow, everyone who wants to improve, and it's the tiny 1% improvement that you make daily that will add up to the person that you become tomorrow or in the future. But the 1% that you don't work can within it is mentioned there, if you read that. So the 1% that you neglect every day will put you at 0 level in no time. So I think all of us have room for improvement.
Yes.
Whether teachers, students, anyone, any walk of life. So that's a very good book.
It has been on my shelf for quite a while. I think I will read it. I'll start reading it now.
Yes. much to learn from that author who had his own personal struggles, and with setbacks of severe injury. His aim in life was to be a good baseball player. That was his whole life. But then one practice, when he got hit by a flying bat, it was an accidental one. It really crushed his skull and had a very negative impact. But he decided to improve himself by 1% daily, and he kept on practicing, and in the end he did rise up, and he wrote this book based on what he practiced. So it's a bestseller.
Definitely,
Yeah.
I'm going to read it, and I will also, in supporting ma'am here, recommend my listeners to read that book.
Yeah, you wouldn't regret.
Definitely, definitely. So, ma'am, once again, I would like to thank you so much for being here, agreeing for this interview. However, if you'd like to give a message to all our listeners,
All the listeners. Okay. Yeah, don't be too hard on yourselves. Life beats you at times, and there are things that we have to go through, but I want everyone to maintain that. I urge everyone to maintain that positive vibe, outlook on life. And secondly, this is something that I really like, and I really intentionally practice. So there are these two types of hard. The pain of being where you are, and the pain that you have to take to be where you want to be. So both are painful. Being where you are, stuck, and not wanting to be there, that's a pain, one pain. And the other pain is the pain of the pain that you have to take, the process that you have to go through in order to have what you want to have in the future. So today I tell all the viewers, listeners, to choose your pain, to choose your heart, which pain or which heart that you want to choose now for the kind of future that you want to have, because either ways you're going to be in pain. Thank you.
beautifully said. This interview felt like a warm hug. So, thank you once again from my end as well for agreeing for this interview and being here. I really look forward to interacting with you again very soon.
Okay. Likewise, Jamsutullah, I had even except from the profile pictures and all, I had kind of forgotten your face, but now like everything is kind of flashing back, and it was a very wonderful interactive session. I enjoyed being with you as well.
Same here, same here. So, dear listeners, there you have it. That was a lovely ma'am, Patricia Zhimomi. She's there on Instagram as well. Do check her out on Instagram, follow her, and of course, she also has a organization or team, should I say, Reset 2020.
Yeah.
Check it out on Instagram. Follow that as well, and keep supporting Hills FM. This is your RJ Tamsa. Take care of yourself.
You're listening to 90.8 Hills FM Radio.
This is 90.8 Hills FM radio station, using our voice to rate your choice. Stay tuned.